President Bill Clinton is headed our way. He will be in Hartford this Friday, March 16th, as part of the Connecticut Forum's 20th anniversary celebration. As you might imagine, it is a major undertaking to prepare for his visit. Doris Sugarman and her husband co-founded the Connecticut Forum, and she joins us now to talk about the intense preps. Thanks for being here, Doris.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I guess the first question is, how did the visit come about? I mean, how difficult is it to book a former president?
Well, it is a little difficult, but this is our 20th anniversary year, and Bill Clinton is by far the most requested panelist from our audience.
Wow.
We receive a lot of input from our audience, and we thought, what better way to celebrate the 20th anniversary than to have Bill Clinton? So there's a lot of vetting. There's an agent involved, and
so you made a request.
We made a request. We are doing this presentation along with the Bushnell. So we contacted the agent, and that started the process. And again, there's been a lot of vetting. They want to know the venue. They want to know the reputation of the presenters. And, with our 20-year history and the topics and the panelists that we have, I mean, we passed the test. And, of course, we are able to pay the fee. And that has something to do with getting the president here.
What is the fee?
Well, I can give you a range. It's somewhere over 100, but less than 2.
Wow. That's a good fee.
It is a great fee. He has a good life after presidency.
Yeah, I guess so. So, and the theme of his talk is going to be what?
Embracing our common humanity.
Okay. And so he'll give a speech first and then have questions?
Yeah, that's the format of the program. From 7 to 7:40, he will talk about embracing our common humanity, and of course, with all of his global initiatives,
right.
I'm sure he will have a lot to say. He has a prepared speech, but I understand he does a lot of it off the cuff. He's brilliant. And then for the last 20 minutes, he will be interviewed by Richard Sugarman, my husband, where he'll ask questions that have been submitted by our audience, our constituents, our friends of the forum.
So does he get the questions beforehand?
Well, usually the format of the forum, the way it works is it's very spontaneous and no one gets any prepared remarks. Only the moderator gets remarks. But in this particular case, he is the president, and he wanted to see all of the questions in advance. And so we have submitted many questions to him. And he struck out some questions and said they weren't appropriate.
Give us an idea of what kinds of questions.
Well, there were questions about Syria and Asia and things right now that are happening in the Middle East, some current affairs that he preferred not to comment on. And I think it's more because of Secretary of State Hillary Clinton than it is a concern for the president.
Right. Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic because he does have to be cognizant that his comments certainly might reflect her and her work, and that's interesting.
Exactly.
So tell me, what kind of preps now do you have to do? I mean, either for the physical location, are there certain preparations, or even, otherwise? Well,
certainly. This is a little bit different than our normal forums. There is, security considerations, Secret Service considerations. There is an advanced team. Anyone that comes in direct contact with the president, there is a list that's provided to the president in a somewhat of a vetting process. He has an advanced team. He likes to be familiar with the venue and the people he's dealing with. And so that process started last summer, and so we, along with the Bushnell, have been going through and doing our due diligence, but I think he'll be pleased.
And it's really a boon for the city as well to have him visit.
It's great. It's very exciting. I mean, if you think about speakers and celebrities and folks to visit, I mean, he really is the rock star. So, I mean,
why do you think he is the most requested?
Well, if you think of what he's done, he started his presidency in 1992, and whether it's the controversy, but the economy was booming when he was president. He did a pretty good job for 8 years, and you don't get much bigger than the president. So, we have a pretty sophisticated audience, and we're going to give them what they wanted.
Have you seen all the questions? I mean, are there going to be any that are, I don't know, about the scandal, about?
No.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to.
We'll
We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
We have a lot of questions on, global issues and on innovation, on education and poverty, and in true fashion style, we'll probably ask some questions that he's never been asked before.
Yeah.
We're going to give him a pop culture test and see if he really knows who Snooki is and things like that. It'll be fun.
I wonder. So you have some other events coming up as well that you wanted to talk about?
Yes. That night also, right after the Clinton event, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. That's also at the Bushnell. And folks can come. Tickets are still available for that. And I would like to say that simulcast tickets are available. The big theater for Clinton is sold out, but we have simulcast tickets available, and people can come by calling the Bushnell box office.
So they'll be in a different room, or?
The Belding stage is right next to the Mortensen, so same location, but it will be a live simulcast. They can come there and they can enjoy the party afterwards. And we end our season May 5th with our Fragile Earth program on the environment, and we have a terrific, our own Commissioner of Deep, Estes is coming, and we have Majora Carter coming, and Michael Pollan. So that'll be great way to end our 20th anniversary.
Over the years, who have been your favorite guests?
I get asked this a lot, and it changes. One of my most favorite was Walter Cronkite, because he kind of crosses generations. He was my parents' favorite, and I grew up watching him. And everyone remembers where they were and what they were doing when he said those infamous words about President Kennedy. So he ranks pretty high up there. But there've been so many, and it does change. Is there anyone that you have your eye on that you keep asking, you keep hoping that they'll come? Or? Well, we get asked that a lot, but Jon Stewart is now up there. I think John or Stephen Colbert, someone like that, but we're working on that. Right. We might do this again next year with the Bushnell. It's been a wonderful collaboration. Absolutely. So again, so if people want tickets, they go to? For the Clinton event, they can call the Bushnell box office or go to bushnell.org. Okay. For our events, they call us personally. We handle our own ticketing. It's 860-509-0909 or ctforum.org. Excellent. All right. Well, we wish you good luck. We're certainly going to be there and see what he has to say. I'm sure it's going to be a great evening. It's going to be a great evening. Thanks, Doris, for being here. Thanks for having me. Stick around. We are going to let you know the latest on scream rooms, smoke detectors, mixed martial arts, marijuana, and leg hold traps, all at the Capitol.